Welcome to A Night with a Medium, starring Tessa DelZoppo. Broadcasting live from the Yowawa Media Studios high above the beautiful city of Niagara Falls, New York. Thank you for joining us, and we welcome each of you for a spirit-filled evening.
All right. Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to tonight's A Night with a Medium. Today is actually a really exciting day. First and foremost, I want to start off by saying thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my YouTube channel and everybody who's been watching, because last week we actually had like 230 missed calls by the end of the night on top of everyone that we took. So your support and calling in and just interacting with us is beyond appreciated. And like I said, subscribing to my YouTube channel. So I put up a kind of like a contest last week. If you subscribed to my channel, shared it, and then commented a name below, what I was going to do is today I'm picking a name, which I already have picked a name from that list, to receive a free 15-minute reading with me. So the name of that person is going to be listed at the end of the show. So stay tuned so you can hear who won. Today's guest is our celebrity guest, I should say. I had a Zoom interview with him earlier, me and my in-studio guest, Kenneth Cosentino. It was Vincent Pastore from the legendary show Sopranos. And, we brought him on for a Zoom call. It went on way longer than expected because he was just so easy to talk to. He felt like an uncle of mine. We went on from anything from his acting career, Broadway career, plays that he had written, things that he has coming up, his new podcast. I even did a small little reading for him, which I plan to continue in the future, and I definitely want to have him back on. We went on for probably a good 40 minutes, so we're not going to be able to show the whole interview tonight. What I plan on doing is I'd like to show you guys, just a little bit of the interview that we did do, some of the things that we talked about, and then I'm going to cut back and I'm going to show you probably the highlights of the interview where I did a reading for him, and we talked about his pasta sauce, because what Italian doesn't want to talk about pasta sauce? So are we ready to kind of cut over to the interview, guys? Yeah, go ahead. All right, so here's the interview with Vincent Pastore.
On Eldad, and the movie, directed by Nancy Savoca, became a huge hit. It won the Sundance Film Festival. It was my second experience behind the camera.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got really, really lucky. I was 42 years old.
That's amazing.
But when you say breakout role, what do you mean by that, Teresa?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, it's one of the biggest, The Sopranos was the biggest show, in my opinion, at least on HBO and on all of television. And, I feel like most people know you as
Big
the character
Pussy
from Sopranos, Big Pussy, right. Yeah. And you have so much more to you. You're not just an actor, you're an entertainer, right? You have so much to your background.
It's like this. Every actor, entertainer, like singers, they have like this one job.
Yeah.
Like every time we think of James Taylor, we think of Fire and Rain, Every time we think of De Niro, I don't know, there's so many with De Niro, but probably Raging Bull, Goodfellas, what character actors, and that's what I am. I'm a character actor. We were having a debate the other day. Am I an A-list, B-list, C-list? I said, no, I'm a character actor.
Yeah.
And character actors, like Ernest Borgnine and Lee J. Cobb and, Tom Sizemore is a character actor. Michael Madsen's a character actor. They seldom get a lead role, but they support the film. So what happened with me is I was, you got your baby there? That's how cute.
I do.
I was,
you can hear him.
Bouncing around, going from principal work, doing some extra work back and forth. And then Tony Danza and Emilio Estevez produced a movie called The Jerky Boys.
Oh, we were just talking about The Jerky Boys like an hour ago. I swear to God.
Yeah, we were.
And what happened, guys, is that,
that's right.
I landed that role. I'm playing opposite Alan Arkin. And
Oh, that's amazing.
So after I did that, my agent, Robert Adaman from Abrams, says, you're on your way now because you carried a movie.
Right.
Instead of going in and doing,
Yeah, hey, Ronaldo, is that you? Yeah, that was good.
Tony Scarponi. Then, fast forward, we did a movie called Gotti, not the one with Travolta, but with Armand Assante and all of the actors that eventually ended up on The Sopranos. And
okay.
That was for HBO, and it was me, Tony Sirico, Dominic Chianese, Frank Vincent. We were all in Gotti. With Armand Assante, and we shot it in Toronto.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know it was shot there. No, I didn't know it was shot there.
We made it look like Little Italy.
Yeah.
Up in Queen Street.
Okay.
Yeah,
yep.
And then we went to, there's a prison north of Toronto.
Okay.
That's what a K or something.
Yep.
We went up there to shoot the prison scene. So I was in Canada.
Oh, wow. Okay.
December, January, February.
It's got a similar vibe to New York. I was just there in February.
We used to call it Hollywood North.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does have that vibe.
And I did a lot up there. I did The Last Don. I did The Hurricane. I did the movie with William Macy. We did a lot of work up there. But then what happened, because of Gotti, it was a big HBO hit. Georgiana Walken and Sheila Jaffe brought us, the guys from Gotti, in to see David Chase.
Okay.
And David was saying, oh, I never saw Gotti. Well, meanwhile, he hired all of us.
Right.
He hired me. He hired Tony. He hired Dominic. He hired Frank Vincent. So
the whole ensemble.
Yeah.
Right. And then Sopranos, yes. It became my breakout role, but ironically, I was only on the show for 2 years.
Well, so they took you out in season 2.
Yeah.
But then, because I'm rewatching it, because I've never watched it all the way through, it was always kind of broken up, so I decided to start rewatching it. Because I had Joe Ganascioli on weeks ago, and that kind of triggered me to start watching it again. And so you made it, I think, to season 2, right? They took you out, but then you come back kind of, because you were like haunting them throughout season 3.
Well, what happened is that David called me between season 1 and season 2, and he told me what we were going to do in season 2. They didn't know that show was going to take off for 7 years. Nobody knows this.
Right.
You and I could do a pilot today, and all of a sudden they say, oh, you got picked up for a year, but you didn't get picked up for 7 years.
Right.
The first year, they came back, and they renegotiated the contracts with everybody, and David said, you're going to get killed. And they
made you a rat.
Right. Yeah, my contract never got renegotiated because they said, why renegotiate his contract? We're going to kill him.
Uh-huh.
So I was only on for 2 years, but I had a 7-year contract.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, because they brought you back. It was...
What?
I just got into season 4 after they took Jackie Jr. out. Yeah. And, because season 3, they keep showing the boardwalk. They keep showing the dreams that... Tony has, and you're kind of haunting things, and they're looking backward. And I thought that was interesting how they kind of kept you, because you really played an iconic role in, everybody knows Tony Soprano, that's the name, but like your character played such a prominent role really throughout everything. We're live again. Okay, so that was the beginning of my interview, with Vincent, and we have so much that we went through. I mean, like I said, he was so easy to talk to, and basically we went from, like I said, Sopranos stuff back to Broadway, his time on Broadway. But I brought up a really cool topic with him, and that was that he was an author. He wrote 3 plays, and the one that really caught my interest was something called Mama's Chair. So what I do as a medium, we talk to people about people who have passed, how it's impacted their lives. I bring healing and closure, some validation through readings for people. And I brought that up to him regarding what he wrote with Mama's Chair. And there's a really cool part in there where he sent me an email with his script, and I was going to read it, and hopefully we plan to do something together with that in the future. The next clip that I'm going to show you, though, is kind of the last highlight that I want to show you from this interview, and then the whole interview will be posted on my YouTube channel. So anybody who wants to watch the full-length video, Vinny, you included, it will be available on my YouTube channel going forward. But the last clip that I'm going to show is about his pasta sauce. I found it interesting because he jarred his own pasta sauce, and so as an Italian, who doesn't want to buy a Sopranos pasta sauce? That, and then we get into me being a medium. He saw my sign behind me, and he wanted to know about me being a medium, and I gave him a little bit of a feeler for it. So here's the clip of that.
You know what I was going to say? You got to get your sauce. You got jarred sauce out. You got to get it this way. You have to sell it here. We got to get that.
You can't even find a jar nowhere.
I know.
They came over my house, and I had 4 cases here, and they took it back.
What kind of sauce are we talking?
My sauce.
I don't know.
They ran out of it.
Oh, did they really?
How do we get some sauce?
We need it.
They got to make it up again. Well, actually, we're going to be doing an event, and we'll get you there at Chris and Ruth's in Niagara Falls, Canada.
Okay.
The border opens, yeah.
So we'll have you come up.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah,
that would be fantastic.
And everything like that.
Oh, you know that. I was going to say, I got teased over here. Somebody's got Brajol, and they didn't bring it into the studio, so I'm a little upset about that.
The Cardoons. Yeah.
And the Cardones.
Yeah.
Is it sweet sauce? What kind of sauce you got?
I don't know. I don't even remember tasting it.
I'm hungry. Oh, get it out of here.
Wait a second. Wait, I can tell you.
Forget about it.
I don't think the guys. That's the name of my podcast.
I know. My son's been saying it all day. He's been walking around with the hand. Forget about it.
Yeah, that's what we just got to
I've
write.
been training him. Yeah.
But here's what happened with the sauce. This is a funny story. These guys got in touch with me, and they said, we want to do a sauce. I said, talk to my agent. So my agent says, I got all this food up here. I said, who are they? A bunch of guys from Long Island. I said, let me go see them. So I go out to Long Island, and they had this sauce in these plastic Tupperware containers in the refrigerator, and they were selling them. And I said, is this the sauce? They said, yeah. And I said, let me take it home, taste it. So I took it home, and I called them up, and I said, yeah, I like it. That's not the sauce they made.
It's the bootleg sauce. Yeah.
That was something in the refrigerator.
Right.
I finally opened up a jar of my sauce about a month ago, and I said, what's in this? And it was like a vegetable garden. It was onions in it, tomatoes, all this. A lot of people like it, but a lot of people don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I called them, because I said, you got to come out with a bland marinara sauce.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants all that stuff on top of their pasta,
Yeah,
Right.
they'll add it later.
What we got to do is when you come over this way, I'm going to just make you a pot of my sauce and bring it to you. I make it like my grandma did.
Yeah. That's better. It's probably better than my sauce. Not
Well, yours is the bootleg.
well, no, I can see these guys watching this show right now. See, that son of a bitch is putting down on
He ratted us out. He ratted us out.
So your podcast starts August 3rd then. I can't wait for that.
We
and
got
I think
taping. We're going to tape.
Yeah.
We're going to put 12 shows in the can, but I don't know when the release date is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on Sirius Radio for 5 years, so I love what you're doing right there with that microphone in front of you.
Isn't it great?
way.
You know what her name is? I named her. I named
What?
her. I named her after Marilyn Monroe because she's one of my favorite.
What do you call her?
Marilyn.
Do you know what law got passed yesterday?
What?
You know when you go, especially like in Niagara Falls, and you see pictures on people's T-shirts, James Dean, Marilyn Monroe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They finally passed a law that you can't do that unless the people who own this state are going to get some money from it.
Oh, wow.
Well, that only makes sense.
Glad, what?
That only makes sense.
Yeah, I'm so glad because when we were doing Soprano Con,
Yeah.
I don't know who did it, but there was images of Jimmy all over. They were selling stuff of Jimmy all over. So who's there? Jimmy's wife, Jimmy's kid, the people from HBO, and they came up to me and they said, "Is the family making any money over this?" I said, "I don't know."
Parasites.
So now there's a law that if I see you wearing a T-shirt with my picture on it, I'm going to say, "Where did you buy it and where's my cut?"
With the sauce. You're going to be holding the sauce.
Oh, no, we're doing T-shirts with the sauce.
I got to get one.
Are you?
Well, we didn't make them yet. It's all in, like, these guys are like snails.
We'll make our own.
We'll make our own and hide.
I want mine to say big pussy.
Right.
Okay.
No, that's a better T-shirt.
I think it is.
Sauce.
Yeah,
Big
I think it is.
Pussy's not dead. He's hiding out in Buffalo.
He's not dead. You know, I thought about that when they started doing as I'm watching it and rewatching it and all the scenes of the dream. I actually thought like, wouldn't that be awesome if he came back? And
Tony Russo was in Buffalo. He spent some time in Buffalo. He was from Jersey, but he spent some time in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Not that anybody knows about.
Did you hear about the studio they're building over here in Buffalo? The TV, is it a TV studio, right?
Movie.
Well,
$50 million they're putting into it here in Buffalo.
A lot of work because New York City is going to lose a lot of work.
It's migrating. You know, we've been building it for the last 10 years.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
You know, we're in phase 4 now. You're allowed to go shoot out in the street, but you can't go in a studio and shoot. How are they going to make anything?
Yeah, but you know what? Those budgets are going up 15% for COVID insurance, and the first time some A-lister gets COVID, they're going to shut everything down. So, you know.
Well, the whole thing is that the movies aren't getting insurance.
Right, exactly, because it doesn't exist yet. Right. So that insurance doesn't exist yet. So, you know, they're looking like Netflix, Hulu, they need content. They're looking to indie guys like myself, you know, small studios that could, you know, skeleton crew, shoestring budget.
That's what's going to happen. That's the big budgets. I'm supposed to be in San Jose right now working on a movie with Vicky Walker and Michael Madsen. It's a big movie.
Yeah, you were telling me about
with big crowd scenes and everything. And they're not giving it the green light.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be a while. It's offline, you know. It's going to be a while. We had.
But meanwhile, you could go out and do. You and I, we could go out and do something like we were talking about, Mama's Chair, low budget, independent stuff, and that stuff.
Hey,
that would be phenomenal. That would be phenomenal on stage. You know, and I know you said you've done it before, but to really get that going and having a story like that.
Yeah. Well,
I can't wait to read it.
One of the girls in my class, Gina.
Yeah.
She loved my play. And she said, "Vinny, could I do an adaptation where it's a woman with her mother?" I said, "Sure you can."
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you like this,
and
you want to do it up in Buffalo, and you play the daughter, and you get somebody to play your mother, or you get somebody to play your father. It doesn't have to be your mother; it could be a daughter and father.
I would love to do that because I've been working. We have like Shays Theater here. We have. You know, we have some beautiful, beautiful theaters out in Buffalo.
All you got to do is tweak the play to make it that it's a daughter. And Gina said to me, "Vinny, it works as a daughter yelling at her father, you killed mommy. You know, you made mommy die, you know."
Right.
Not that he killed her, but he was in the play, he's yelling at her, and she had a heart attack, and she had Parkinson's. Read it.
Wow. Well, what do you think, Ken? Let's team up and do something like that.
Well,
for you, Vinny.
I don't want to play. No, I'm a behind the camera. Look, I'm a day player. Yeah, I'm a day player. I don't want nothing to do with.
No, you want to do it as a play.
Well, that's what I mean. Why don't we get that together?
And sit in the audience and watch it.
I would do that for you. I would do that for you in a heartbeat.
A short play. You go up and do it. You say, "Vinny, we're putting up your play."
Yeah. No, we're gonna do something like an Italian family film where we're sitting around the dinner table, everybody's joking on each other. Not a mob film, a family film. That's what
we'll call it the family film.
Yeah, meatball and sauce.
Vinny, I don't want to keep you because I know.
Why do you call yourself a night with a medium? What does that mean?
I am a medium, so ever since I was little, I've been able to see and feel spirit. Now, but I growing up in an Italian family. Okay, my grandmother, she felt and saw things the same way I did, but did she really? That's amazing because, my grandmother, she wouldn't admit it for the longest time. She never wanted to talk about it. It was all about religion and whatever. But my mother has the same. Yeah.
Vincent has left the building.
He's left the building. But it's funny that right now we're getting into this conversation. I could go on with him for like 3 hours.
Yeah, you'll have to bring him back on the show.
I will bring him back on the show.
All right, my 1 o'clock is here.
All right. So I don't want to keep you. I don't want to keep you. I'll bring you back.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to email you Mama's Chair. Look at it. If you want to, if you say, Vinny, I want to adapt this, get somebody to direct it. That's not going to, because I think, and then get somebody to play the father. We'll do that. I'll also email you a couple of my soprano contact information.
That would be phenomenal.
But before we go, could you do some medium stuff with me?
Oh, you want to do it live right now?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, here's why I brought up Mama's Chair to begin with, because sometimes before I speak with somebody, I start to feel things because I know I'm going to connect with you. And then I read about Mama's Chair. You have a very strong, your mother's around you a lot. Like a lot. She's always there with you. And I don't know if, do you carry something of hers, as you do things? Do you carry something of hers that she either gave to you? While you work.
Yeah, when I'm doing plays, I put her rosary. These are secrets.
There it is.
I put her rosary beads in my pocket.
Yes. Because I heard her tell me last night he carries me with him whenever he works. Does that make sense to you then?
My mother was talking to you last night?
I feel like I'm going to get in trouble for this. Yeah. Well, that's what I do as a medium. I hear and I connect with them so that I can deliver things to you.
What are you doing? You want to sit here and watch this? You can sit over there for a while.
She's very good. I've known her since we were kids, and she's always been spooky.
Listen, we got a little more time.
All right.
Cool.
All right.
But I do feel what she said.
The way you want. Let's talk about Mommy.
Is it okay to talk about those things with you? I just like to get...
Listen, I had a medium here one day.
You
we
did?
We were doing a pilot, and she said, your mother's all over the place. And I said, yeah, her picture's all over the place. That's why she's... Because, but this is different.
Yeah.
You're not here.
Right. I'm not here. And I think a lot of people...
How do you zoom into my life?
Well, I pick up, I'll see things and I hear them. Okay, so your mother's with you, to clarify that. But when they know that I'm going to connect with you, I'll sometimes pick up the energy and she'll tell me things. And what I heard last night as I was reading about Mama's Chair was you carry something with you while you work of hers, because she was kind of your inspiration and your biggest, she keeps saying, I'm his biggest fan. So that I wanted to relay that to you now that you gave me the opportunity to do so.
You want to end with a beautiful story?
I would love it. Yeah.
Kind of sad. Okay.
Sure.
Since we're talking about my mother, I'm doing extra work, and I'm doing Godfather 3, and it was me and my friend Tony Cucci, and we were down in Atlantic City, and it's the scene, if you ever seen Godfather 3 with Pacino and Andy Garcia, they land on the roof with the helicopter, and there were a couple of wise guys up on the roof.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell who they were. So I was one of the wise guys. It was me and Tony Cucci. So when we wrap, I come home, and my mother was in a home at the time, and she had Parkinson's.
Okay.
She was in bad shape, and she was watching Godfather 2. And I looked at her. I says, "What are you watching?" And she put her eyes. And I said, "I just worked with them." And she grabbed my hand.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow. She was your biggest fan. And that's what she said. And anytime, if you ever want to, because I know sometimes it can get personal. I gave you a little bit, of what she said. But if you ever want to talk on the phone to where I can actually give you a full-blown message and you don't got to worry about it being public, I could do that for you as well.
Well, either that or I take a ride up to Buffalo with my friend Louie. We hang out, and you can do it in person.
There you go. We could do that, and then we'll eat on top of it.
My friend Howie Green is a big promoter from Buffalo, and he's trying to get me up there with my band.
Yes, that would be great.
So we'll be up there soon.
Well, we'll eat, we'll do readings, and then we'll work on this play that we're going to do for you.
All right, okay. I was a little nervous to do this with you because I didn't know who you are.
Of course,
whatever, but now we're comfortable with each other, so anytime you need me, and I'll refer my friends to you, okay?
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do so, and for even being here today, because I know you're busy, but I'm looking really forward to talking with you again.
Okay, all right.
Vince.
All right. So now, what was the problem we had earlier with the Zoom thing? Was it on your end or my end?
I think it was our end. It was just the settings. It was just the settings, and we couldn't hear you. But
we do it again. All right.
we got it. Yep,
All
we're
right.
all
So
set.
I know I like to, I don't want to sometimes have a guest on too much, but if you want to have me back on, like maybe in another month or so,
I would love to
talk about how New York's opening up again and stuff like that. All right?
Yeah. Yep. That's what it's here for. That's what this podcast is here for.
I have a friend of mine who wants to say goodbye. Louis, come over here and say goodbye to Terry.
Hi. Oh, we're friends on Facebook, right?
I don't know. Are we? We might be.
I think we are. I recognize your face.
Well, Louis studies, but now we're rehearsing for a play we're putting up.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, good. All right.
Thank you, Vinny.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're Panza.
Say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
Yeah. Bye. Say goodbye.
All right. Bye, Louis.
Cheers.
All right.
He's still there.
He's still there. I don't know if we got it.
How exciting was
awesome.
that? Oh my gosh. That was honestly probably the highlight of this whole thing so far. So, okay, we're back. And I am now with my in-studio guest, my very good friend, longtime friend, Ken Cosentino. How you doing, Kenny?
Great. Yeah. I'm still
right?
thinking about Vincent. You know,
We were watching it back, and we're sitting over here laughing our butts off because it's like so much better to watch it back and the little things that we missed. Vinny was great. I mean,
I just felt like he was like my Uncle Guido.
I know. It was so easy to talk to him.
Yeah.
I think growing up Italian, you just, I don't know, you click. You know, I think.
Well, you have a lot in
is.
common, you know, like with the familial structure and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So we got to like snap ourselves out of that one for a minute. And so now we're here in studio. You know, the reason I brought you on today, not only because we're very similar, right? We have a lot of similarities, but we're also a bit different. And one of the reasons why I chose you for this show was not only because you're a filmmaker, an author, you know, so you've done all these things before, and to be able to communicate with somebody like Vincent Pastore, who has created such a name for himself in that business, but then we also have a similarity in that we're both readers.
Yeah. I mean, you know, this is the first time that I'm speaking publicly about some things. You know, obviously I came out with my book, and that was like my first coming out, you know. But I've been reading for over 10 years and, you know, just friends and family and stuff like that. And with Vincent in the film industry and stuff, I've been doing that just as long. So it's, you know, it's comfortable for me to talk to a star like him.
Yeah.
Especially him, because he was just such a laid-back, humble
really was.
person.
He was so fun to talk to. I can't wait to talk to him again and just kind of see where that takes us, because I read his play. I read it when he sent it to me today.
It's awesome.
It's unbelievable. So I'm very excited about that. So where do I want to go with you? Because here's the thing. You were one of the only people, I think, back, what does it go back to, like middle school maybe?
Yeah.
That knew really what I did as a medium. And then, you know, I knew you could feel things and see things and read as well. And I think you were one of the only people, I think, that really knew that I did that for
That's what's
a
so
long,
cool
long
about
time.
it. You know,
and vice versa.
Yeah, we could think back, you know, to all our discussions and everything. And
hiding away in the back of the mall.
yeah, when we were both working there.
Yeah, we
our
would
lunch
take our
breaks.
lunch breaks.
Yeah, and you know, every time you had told me about one of your experiences, it would make me feel a little bit better,
Yeah,
because
you don't feel like you're crazy. Right?
Yeah, well, I always, like, you know, my family, you know,
Yeah.
and you guys were talking about your grandmothers, you know.
Yes.
My grandmother was also intuitive, and she used to see like a little girl at the foot of her bed at night, but she never talked about it with most people, just with me.
They, you know, it runs in the family. I fully believe
Definitely.
that it's almost inherited. It runs in the family. The grandmother, I feel like women are always more intuitive than men. And I don't know if that's because we bear children. I'm not sure. I don't have all the answers. But, you know, I know that our intuition also heightens once we have children, too. So
Definitely.
Coming from the grandmother and things, it's very, it's a normal thing to see, you know, if there's a reader in the family. But you and I, we read differently in a sense. Like, it's the same, right? But it's different. I always tell people that as a reader, everybody has their own niche. We read differently. We might receive it differently. Maybe we deliver it differently. You know, everybody really knows how I read as a medium. You know, I talk directly with spirit. I see them, I hear them, and then I deliver the messages to you. But if you want to explain a little bit about how you read, how do you receive your information? How is it different than what I do?
Yeah, well, just to give you just like a brief overview of myself, I'm a Buddhist, and I study a very specific school of Buddhism that's called Vajrayana Buddhism. and it's Tibetan Buddhism that's intertwined with shamanism.
Okay.
So it's all about controlling our mind and silencing our inner dialogue to be able to receive, right? I mean, really, you're switching channels because so many people are constantly on this wavelength of, you know, the outer world, and most of our lives takes place actually beneath the surface, and people just don't realize that. Being aware of that is key to being able to, you know, settle. It's kind of like water, right? Like when it settles, then it's clear. So, you know, my relationship with spirit is everything in my life. You know, it's a sacred bond that I have, and I live my life in a certain way that I try not to harm anything, you know, even so much as like picking a flower or, you know, stepping on, you know, bugs or anything like that, you know.
You wouldn't want to be near me then. Like when it comes to spiders.
I never want to be near you. So, you know, nothing's changed in all this time.
You're like a brother. You really are. You're like, stay away from me.
Yeah, you're definitely family, you know, and that's why this is so cool. Because I can validate everything that you are just from knowing you for so long, you know.
Yeah, and vice versa.
Yeah, and, you know, I get, it's not like a voice, you know, it kind of is, but it kind of isn't.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's more like a tap on the shoulder, like, you know, a message. I don't always communicate directly with spirits, though.
Yeah.
A lot of time it's just communicating with spirit.
So the higher power.
Yeah.
Just to clarify for people who might not understand what that means, but like there's a higher source, and whatever your belief system is, you know, there's the bigger thing, and then there's the little ones that kind of linger around, you know, that I usually tune in with. And, you know, I always work from a higher power, but I can see spirit so vividly and hear them so vividly. You know, that's why I'm directed to do what I do. But that's very interesting. It's very, very interesting, you know, to see the dynamic. And
I look at it like if spirits are like drops of water in an ocean, the ocean is spirit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You know, and we were talking a little bit before the show about, you know, we talked about this when I had Nick Groff on as well, like a near-death experience. Now, he had a near-death experience. Mine wasn't a near-death experience, but I got extremely sick as a kid. You know, and I had a major surgery, and I have a very vivid memory of being in the hospital. I saw these white figures come in, and it was a very healing thing. And I was about 4 years old. So after that, I really started seeing spirit very vividly as a kid. And I know you had kind of a similar experience. I know you wrote it in your book, right? There's something similar in the book, which, by the way, we have it right here. This is Ken's book. It's called The Secret Teachings of the Hidden Masters. Awesome book.
Thank you.
Amazing. Like,
it's
super,
doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I've had a few near-death experiences that I should not be here today talking to you. In fact, some of my friends call me Wolverine because it's like I don't know how many times I've been blown up and put back together. But that was the most public, you know, because it was like the day of Facebook and everything. You know, people are like, oh, he's in the hospital, and we tried to really downplay it, like with my family, because you know, it was obviously something very horrible that was happening. You know, and people were coming to my hospital bed and saying goodbye to me, you know, and it was very rough. And
do you think it heightened your connection to spirit and your ability to
totally
connect?
You know, I mean, in my book I talk about some of the things that I witnessed in the hospital. I was in the hospital bed for 9 days with no food or water, just hooked up to machines, going through hell. You know, I had sepsis for several days, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. It turned out to be my appendix. And so by the time they took it out, it was like almost too late. But I saw my great-grandfather sitting in the corner of the room with his hands folded. I've never met him. I've only seen pictures of him. And what happened that morning was I remember laying in the bed and finally feeling some kind of comfort, you know, and it was because my appendix had burst, and, you know, so the pain had gone away, and I was starting to kind of drift, and the sun came in through the blinds, and it hit me right in the forehead, and my eyes were closed, but I saw like this beam of light, and then I felt like free, you know, like I was moving towards it. It was warm, and I was being like enveloped. And then my grandfather, who had just passed away, you know, a few months before then, I heard his voice, and he screamed my name in my ear, which woke me up like that. And then I saw his father sitting in the corner for just a moment, you know, and there was all kinds of stuff like that veil is pierced.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and also what happens is our pineal gland starts to produce dimethyltryptamine, DMT, you know, which is known as the spirit molecule, and that's our
Yeah.
third eye. So
It's interesting because there is so much science behind it. Like people are
Yeah.
now coming out with these studies and these different kind of validations for everything that we say, so we don't sound crazy. You know, they were doing those brain scans where they watch
Yeah.
your brain during a reading to see what's being triggered and what's working and what's not. And then, like you said, these different like neurotransmitters and things that go through the body at that time. And I think it's
Yeah.
super interesting.
in our tradition, if anything can be disproved scientifically, then it's discarded. You know, it's a false teaching. But everything that we teach and that we study is either scientifically proven or plausible, and you know will probably be
Yeah.
proven sometime in the future.
Yeah, amazing. You know, and so, you know, I love that I have you on here today. You know, last week I had said at the top of the show, we had like 230 missed calls. People,
good for you.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. I'm so overwhelmed and excited about it. You know, and I love that we can open up now to have people call in because now I have you here, and gives a little bit of a different aspect on, you know,
Yeah,
what I pick up as a reader. I want to, I kind of want to put that out there audio-wise. So the call-in number is 716-226-0693. We will now be taking some calls. Kenny brought his tarot cards. You want to tell us a little bit about that until we get a call?
Well, I brought my cards because I think it's better for me the way I do it if people have a visual representation. So So you know I can hold those up to the
I
the
fidget a
camera.
lot. Like I'll play with something. Like normally I have a pen in my hand, or I'm doodling, or I'm doing something because you wanna stop that left brain from kind of getting in the way. We have a call. You ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Action. Hi, you're on a night with a medium.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
Good. Who are we talking with, and where are you calling in from?
Kristen from New York.
Hi, Kristen. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. So I have my friend Ken here in studio with me. We're taking calls. We're doing live readings. Do you have a question for him or myself?
None that I could think of the moment. I just would like to see if there's any messages from the other side for me.
Yeah, absolutely. You said your name is Kristen, correct?
Yes.
The first thing that I get the minute that I called, I saw, we were literally just talking about our grandparents, and I keep getting a very strong grandmother figure for you. Oh, look at that. How crazy.
Yeah.
So Ken just pulled, for people who are not watching the visual, there is a card that he just pulled, and it shows kind of a woman sitting. And I don't know your cards very well. I'm not sure what that's called, but there's a woman, and I picked up a
Queen of
grandmother
Cups.
figure.
The
Yeah,
Queen
a
of
grandmother
Cups.
figure, but also, well, you have two people. You have another girl with her as well. So do you understand the grandmother figure? I feel very connected to your mother's side. Is she still there?
Kind of.
Okay.
Yes.
There's definitely a mother-like figure. She feels very much like she would have taken care of you. I keep feeling as though she passed
Yes.
from some sort of like a long-term illness, so something that would have, I feel as though it would have taken over the body. And then I saw my symbol when they show me light switches going off as things just started shutting down in the body. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, who would this be to you? Is this grandma?
Like a grandmother.
Okay. Yep. As long as you understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, definitely like a grandmother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So the Queen of Cups symbolizes that it was a woman who listens a lot.
Yeah.
Because a cup is an empty vessel, and so you would be putting your words into that cup. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like she was your. She really feels very mother-like. Like you were that. She was that person for you to turn to and talk to her. And I sometimes feel like you feel that that's lacking in your life. I don't know, you know, if you feel like you had that connection and that was taken away. But she wants to remind you that she is with you, so you're still able to talk to her. It's just not in the same way as you used to when she was here in the physical world. You have this feeling of being almost like alone, even though you're not alone. You feel alone. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, so just know that she comes forward to say that she's around you and you're not alone, okay?
Yes, that's amazing.
Oh, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. You have a wonderful night.
You too. Thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, you're on a night with a medium.
Hi.
Hi, who are we talking with and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Manhattan in New York.
Wonderful.
My name is Evelyn.
Hi, Evelyn. Thank you so much for calling in. I have my friend Ken here. We're doing readings. Do you have a question for us?
I want to know if someone came through for me.
Okay. Do you have a first name that we can connect with?
The person?
Yeah, just a first name
Roland.
that you. What was it? I'm sorry.
Roland.
Lolan. Okay.
Roland. R-O-L.
Oh, R-O-L.
A-N-D.
Sorry. My audio is a little low. Okay, so Roland. Did this person die quick or unexpected? I feel like he passed very quickly. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. He also shows me a ring of some sort. So I don't know if that was symbolic for his relationship to you or something that you carry of his, but he did show that to me immediately. I do feel you understand that.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I wanna acknowledge that he is very much around you. I feel as though in regards to his passing, there's a lot of question behind what happened. So is this? The weird thing is I almost want to say it's like an open case, and I put it in quotation marks because I don't know if it's
Is it violent?
Yeah.
It was a motorcycle accident.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the questions are regarding this. He says you in specific, you'll sometimes go over and over and over. You understand, kind of like he keeps saying she drives herself crazy, thinking and wondering like what happened or who is this person or, how did we prevent this? And he keeps saying like, please let her know that I'm okay because it happened so quickly and it was so violent. But he's like, please just let her know that I'm okay. And he a lot of love with that. I'm gonna look over to Ken for a moment.
Yeah, I got something too.
Go ahead.
So I pulled a few cards, and basically what it's showing me is that you guys had kind of like a shoulder each other's burden, talk after talk through a lot of different difficulties, and that he was a big talker, and that right now you're facing a difficult decision where you have a path that you could go one way or you could go another way. And it's kind of weighing on you a lot. So I can look into that if you'd like me to.
Okay.
Can I ask you real fast as well? And I don't mean to cut you off, Kenny.
Sure.
I just want to ask: is there like an anniversary or something coming up, or a birthday? I keep going toward like I want to go to like October or something toward the fall time for you.
Well. Yeah, okay. For October, yeah.
Because he keeps handing you roses. So as long as you understand that whenever they show me roses, that means that he just wants to, it's like a happy birthday. It's some sort of remembrance, okay? So as long as you understand what that means.
Right.
So right now, what I'm seeing is it's like a lot of Christianity type stuff, like religious, like a church.
Did he wear a pendant? Like a cross or something always around his neck?
A cross.
Okay.
Yes.
So are you struggling with your faith right now? Is that what's going on?
With my what?
With your faith?
Kinda.
Like, are you saying like, why God? Why did you take him from me? And because I feel obviously you have a broken heart. That goes without saying. But what I was pulling in the cards has to do with like feeling warmth from your spiritual rootedness, like whatever it is that you were brought up in, whether it was, Catholicism or whatever. But basically it says that, you've turned away from some things in your life and right now it's kind of becoming like a little, a splinter, like under your skin that's just kind of making it difficult for you to heal. So.
Right.
Yeah, he keeps reminding you, too, like, you're so much stronger than you give yourself credit for. It's almost like when we get knocked down like that, it's very easy for us to question things and to kind of go back on things that we once believed in. And he's saying, like, you are so much stronger than you realize. And he thanks you for... Do you have a son?
I have... Yeah.
Okay, because he keeps saying, like, thank you for taking care of the kids or the sons. Like, I keep hearing thank you for taking care of them and being strong for them.
I have a grandson and a granddaughter from.
Okay, wonderful. So it's almost like just thank you for being so strong for them and keep your head up, okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you so much. It's what I wanted to hear. He's okay.
He is, and he's very much
And
with
you will be too.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a wonderful night.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right. We're going.
Yeah, I'm sad now.
I know. You know, it's hard. I don't think people understand, like, when we do readings, we take on that energy. We take on those emotions. And sometimes it's really difficult to deliver certain messages to people when it's traumatic and when it has to do with the loss of well, it always has to do with the loss of a loved one. But
And that felt fresh, you know, that there was still a lot of what if, you know. And
that's why with what I do, I enjoy it so much because I'm, you know, and you know this as well, you're able to give people a sense of closure sometimes, healing, some validation that they might need.
Well, that's what it's all about, you know. I mean, this is not just a party trick.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not. And I think people who are hesitant to have readings, you know, you see a lot of different things, or there's some people out there, unfortunately, and I don't like to negative talk anybody, but there is people out there who give us a bad name. And, you know, so by doing what we're doing and having a platform like this or like my show at the casino where you can display what it's really about.
Can I pull a card for you?
Oh, okay, go ahead. Nobody ever reads me. I mean, Jimmy read me. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, look
Show
at
them
that.
what it is. What is on there?
That's a sun. That's a great card.
It is.
I don't know. Maybe you're going to have another child. That could be. This is a great card.
Prank?
No, it's not a prank. The you know, the sun is the giver of life and light, and you know, there's a lot of symbolism in the card. But there's a baby riding a white horse, and I don't know.
Oh boy, Kenny, you were with my kids earlier. You see what I deal with.
You're a good mother.
Thank you. All right, let's take this call. Hi, you're on A Night with a Medium.
Hi.
Hi, who are we talking with?
Hi, this is Missy from Lancaster.
Hi, Missy. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Awesome. So I have my really good friend Ken here in the studio with me.
Hi.
Do you have a question for him or myself?
Yes, I wanted to know if you have anything from my husband Randy or my brother Joe with regards to my job.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Missy that I was just recently with, correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. So I did a gallery reading at her house, which was phenomenal. Very much fun. Thank you guys for having me. I might throw this over to Kenny and see what he picks up on, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yes.
Okay, so I just pulled you the sun.
Yeah.
This is the moon, okay? And it's not a good sign. Is this a job that you're like hoping to get, or a job you're in right now?
Well, I recently lost my job.
That explains
So
the
I
moon.
kind of,
Yeah.
you know, and
So,
I'm
like,
just
the
not sure as far as
moon-
the direction and where to go.
Okay, yeah, well, we could look into that, definitely. So the moon is like the opposite of the sun in the
Well,
cards.
the sun goes down, right?
Yeah, and the moon's kind of sad. It has like a dog howling at it, and it's like missing something, which, you know, I don't know if you really liked your job or what, but, you know, maybe you just don't feel quite as secure now. I mean, who would, especially during the pandemic, you know? So you want to know like what you should do or what path you're on right now?
Yeah, kind of like where I'm supposed to be going.
Okay.
You're supposed to be starting something totally new. And
There you
I
go.
just want to validate this because we didn't speak about your job when I was at your house, correct? I just want to put it out there so people don't think I'm regurgitating
Check
it.
that out.
Right,
Okay.
we definitely did not know.
Okay,
All right, so check this out.
I don't know if you're watching or if you're just doing audio, but he just pulled a card, and the card is what?
The Queen of Pentacles.
Okay.
So the Pentacles represent a lot of times money, finances, and fortune. The Queen holding the Pentacle represents that good fortune's coming your way in terms of your job and finances. So that's a great card to pull.
Yeah, and along with that, I picked up that you're supposed to do something new. It's like you had something in the back of your mind that you've been thinking of doing, but you've held yourself back from doing it. And I almost feel like Randy's very specific about this. It's like she knows what she's supposed to be doing. She's been wanting to do something for a while or trying to obtain. I don't know if you're supposed to get like a certificate or if you have to obtain some sort of, I don't know. I keep feeling like a certificate of some sort to put under your belt in order to do something. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's almost like he's pushing you.
I want to work with children. I want to work with special needs kids.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So
you should definitely do that. Pull it. The more I pull these cards for you, the more it's just like positive drive in your direction. So, Knight of Wands, which it's spiritual work, and that makes a lot of sense. And the horse is rearing up, and that means that you're getting ready to do it. So, go for it. Go for it. Don't be afraid. Be bold and take the opportunity and go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is good.
Awesome.
This
Missy,
is
thank
good
you
because
so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you
Thank
watching and
you.
supporting us. You have a good night.
Definitely. And YouTube channel is awesome. Love having it on the big screen.
I know. It's great.
Yay.
I'm so excited to have this up
Cool.
and running. Yeah, I've been waiting to do this. So thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye, Missy.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah, she was the first really kind of like in-person party that I've done since the pandemic, and we did a gallery style. It was so much fun. I miss doing those. I miss being in a group and being able to read into a crowd. It's just like my thing. So, yeah, that's really cool. I love that. I always say that cards are really just a validation of what we're already picking up, but I think some people they like to see visuals.
Well,
it's
this is
really
an oracle.
cool to have. Yeah.
And, the importance of an oracle is that the cards are never wrong. People can misinterpret them, but not only have I worked with the cards for a really long time, but I study the symbolism and the story that the cards tell, which, this is ancient. I mean, you're talking hieroglyphs on temple walls. That's what you see in the cards. So
I always tell people too, like for me, I went to see Sylvia Browne when I was like 15, 16 years old, the OG of psychics, and she was selling at a table outside of it these oracle cards and tarot cards, and I picked up a deck when I was 15, 16 years old, and I had already been reading. I already knew what I was seeing with spirit, but I would use the cards for myself personally in the way I read to create symbolism in my head.
Yeah, totally.
And I always tell people, like, there's a lot of people that want to know, like, I have this gift. How do I get started with it? Or how do I understand what they're showing me? And I'm like, get a deck of cards. Play with it. Like, look at the symbolism. Look at what they mean.
Yeah.
And then you can actually create, like, a dictionary in your head. So when spirit comes through, they use certain symbols.
You can see the card.
Right. Yeah. And they do that. It's really interesting.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this is an ancient tradition. And, so the more that we study it, and it never ends, you can just continue to study it. But the more that we study it, the more we understand the sciences of life and the energies that are around us.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to take this call. Let's see. Hi, you're on A Night with a Medium.
Hi, this is Jill from Niagara Falls.
Hi, Jill. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's so good to see you guys both together on the screen. I'm loving all of it. You guys are awesome.
We must know you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sounds like Jill Holiday.
Oh, Jillian. Oh, I just sent her the link. Okay.
I love you.
Hi, Jill.
How are you?
I'm doing great. So I actually have a question for you guys about my feminine lineage. I was wondering if you could tell me anything from, my feminine ancestry, if they have any messages for me today.
Okay.
That's coming through a lot right now in your life, huh? Like the drums are beating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Some stuff is coming up to the surface,
The weird thing is I feel like, and I've known you, right? But we've never really touched on this in a sense. I know you, I know your family, but I feel like the women's side of the family, as you say, the feminine, we just were talking about this. I feel like our intuitive side, our healing side, like it's passed down from some source in the family. And I feel like that's where, for you, on the feminine side of the family, is where it's coming from. I feel like you guys all hit this moment, and Ken's got a card. You guys all hit a moment in your life, and I don't know what it is that triggers it, but it just kind of explodes for you, whether it be intuition or the healing aspect of things, and whatever niche it is that you find to kind of go forward with. I feel like something triggers it for all of you guys. So are you reaching that point now where you feel like the direct need to heal and to help others?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you nailed it.
Wonderful.
So Jillian, I pulled the world, but it was upside down. And the world is like perfect peace and harmony. And I was specifically looking and asking the oracle about your lineage, like going back. And what it says is that historically the women in your family, and I don't know, it could be going back a century or two, have had it difficult. So, you know, that could be why they're calling to you now. I mean, we are definitely living in unprecedented times in which the veil is thinning. And so dreams, visions, you know, coincidences and signs and stuff like that are coming through often for just the majority of people. But your specific, you know, feminine lineage, I guess they have suffered and they don't want you to suffer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think too, you know, and I know a little bit about what you're doing, right? And I know that you had this really cool path with kind of homeopathic things, and you were, you know, it's amazing. And like Kenny was saying, to kind of jump off of that, I always say that when you're a healer, you automatically go through really tough things, and you suffer because then you take those moments and those lessons and you use it to help other people. So I think like this is kind of an awakening for you, where you kind of take the things you've gone through, the things you've experienced, and now you have to translate that in some way to be able to help other people.
I see.
Can I ask you a personal question that, you know, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you called us.
You can ask it. I can't guarantee I'll answer it, though.
Have you been crying a lot lately? Just like emotional?
I mean, I've been so emotional. I had a really great cry a couple of days ago. So yes,
I'm not saying it's a, you know, a bad thing. It's just that the emotions are so intense right now that, you know, you feel that you need to get them out. And, you know, of course you are, which is good because, you know, you've studied and you know how to help yourself and take care of yourself. But that emotion that's coming through, that's coming from your spirits. That's coming from your ancestors that are with you.
Yeah, and I always say too, like if I don't get an opportunity to read, or if I don't, you know, you don't have that release where you're helping and doing what your path really is, you know, it'll come out as anxieties and sadness and all these crazy things that are so fixable. And I think really if you just get on top of it and start working from that place where you start healing and you jump back into it, I think you're going to feel a lot better and just have more of a direction.
Well, that is so helpful. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for calling in. It's so good to hear from you. I miss you, and I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, let's plan something.
Please.
Both of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jilly,
thank you so much for calling in. Tell everybody I said hi.
All right, thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Jill. I just, another thing, you know, like I just felt, it's always in my heart.
Yeah.
You know, because the heart just has so many nerve endings and there's so much energy that we put out. But, you know, like for whatever reason, I just felt like crying.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the empathic side of things. It's you know, picking up the energy, feeling the emotions. You know, people who have abilities similar to us, they have that side of things, and they don't understand that sometimes it's not their emotions that they're picking up on. People are like diagnosed bipolar, ADHD, all of these things, schizophrenic. And it's like, in reality, you're picking up on other people's emotions, spirit, and it comes out that way.
Yeah. I always say, you know, one way you could practice that is like if you walk into a room and you're not hungry and all of a sudden you're thinking about food, it's like somebody else's thoughts. And
or it's not, and it's just me, because I'm always hungry.
We don't need to go down that road. But I realized that when we pick up other people's thoughts, we filter it through our inner dialogue, which is the voice of our ego.
Yeah.
You know, and so we believe it's our thoughts because we're hearing it in our voice.
It's the movie that we talked about earlier with
that
Vinny
movie's
Pastore.
No joke, okay?
Yeah. So we were talking to Vinny earlier, Vinny Pastore, who we had on, and we were talking about a movie he did, Revolver, and it starred
Jason Statham, Ray Liotta,
and Vinny.
And Andre 3000.
Andre 3000, I love him. And the movie, I haven't seen it, Kenny has, and it's something that I plan to watch, but it's about dissolving the human ego, right? And Vinny had said, he was like, nobody really understood it. Like, you had to watch it a couple times.
Unfortunately, Guy Ritchie, who, you know, made like Snatch and Sherlock Holmes, and he was studying the Kabbalah heavily because he was married to Madonna, and that's what
that's what he
Vince
was
telling us about.
Oh, we got a call. Let's take that, and then we'll jump back into that
no
conversation.
doubt.
Hi, you're on A Night with a Medium.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Who are we talking with?
Hi, this is Dalton.
Hi, Dalton. How are you?
Good. How about you?
Doing really well. Thank you so much for calling in. I have Ken here with me in the studio. We're doing readings. Do you have a question for us?
I was wondering if you were able to if you were going to be able to get in contact with any of my grandparents that have passed. I've had 3 in the past 2 years.
Okay. Okay. It's interesting. Was there a grandfather that was the most recent that passed?
Yes, he passed away in February.
Okay, because I feel like it would be the grandfather coming forward first, and he said I was the last one to pass. I don't know what it is with my heart. Like, he brought me directly to my heart, and so I don't know if the heart stopped, if there was heart issues, because he literally showed me, like, lights out, like the heart stopped. But it's almost this sense of, like, I don't know if he was doing really well or he was kind of on an upswing, and then it happened fairly quickly. And there's also this sense that, let me see here. There's also talk of like people being named after him and things being carried on in memory of him in a sense, but why does he keep saying like my mini me, or there's like a little version of me? Is he talking about you?
I really don't know.
Okay.
Well, I'm kind of following in his footsteps job-wise.
Okay. Okay.
Which one of them out of your grandparents was deaf?
Grandpa Mike, my Grandpa Mike was hard of hearing.
Okay, so I'm pulling cards right now, and this is the 10 of Wands, okay? And that's like a big bundle of joy in terms of health, wellness, and spiritual abundance. So did you just receive some like really, really good news that's associated with something like that?
Yes, I actually just got my first electrician's job yesterday. I got hired.
Well, that's your Grandpa Mike saying hello. So, sometimes from the other side, they're able to pull some strings for us.
I say it all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
they're guiding us. They make things happen. They put us in the right path in order to obtain what it is we're looking for. So he's got your back and he's looking out for you.
And he says he can hear now, so people aren't looking at him funny anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hope that brings you a little bit of validation, some closure maybe from him and knowing that he's around you.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Awesome. Dalton, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
His Grandpa Mike's kind of funny because sometimes I could see them.
Yeah.
And sometimes I can hear them. And he was kind of just like a really straightforward kind of guy,
Yeah.
you know?
Which goes along with the theme of today.
Yeah, that would have been a fun conversation to have.
I know.
If we could have kept him on a little longer, that would have been fun, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, there's so many just how many spirits do you think there are? You know, like
I know. It's weird, you know, especially like in a gallery setting where there's a lot of people. It's like you have the live people there,
yeah,
and then their loved ones on top of it. And for somebody like me who could see them so vividly, it's just like a crowded room where you can't really.
That's what I mean.
It's crazy what it looks like.
Let's see if we could do something. Let's see if we can push the envelope a little bit and look at our next caller before they call.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that's Temperance upside down. Okay, Temperance is like an angel pouring one cup into another.
Okay.
It's like temperance of the soul, like very calming through discipline. So somebody that might have like really bad anger issues, and it was upside down, so they might even be asking about somebody who had anger issues, and maybe even somebody who had alcohol problems, because temperance is big with addiction and stuff like that. So I'm just putting it out there because, like I said, the cards don't lie.
I almost feel like this person would have, whoever it is you're picking up on, this person would have passed either tragically, like something that would have happened quickly and kind of taken their life quickly, and it's almost that sense of like they take responsibility for that.
And they also feel a little robbed.
Yeah.
You know, that might be why they're angry, or maybe they were just an angry person in life.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Interesting.
Who
Well,
calls.
and you know, the weird thing is if you understand who that is too,
Right.
go ahead and give us a
Someone
call.
could be at home like, oh, that's Johnny.
That's Johnny. I'm gonna call in.
Yeah.
So I want to just remind everybody of the call-in number for those who are just listening to the audio. The number is 716-226-0693. give us a call. Give us a call if that makes any sense to you, or if you just want to talk to us. I want to kind of jump back real quick. I'm going to backtrack.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to go
your
back
show.
to we were talking about Revolver.
Oh my God, it's one of my favorite movies.
I want to watch it because it's like, I think it's interesting. When did that movie come out? Because
2005.
Okay, so from then till now, people are so much more aware of
Totally.
ego and spirituality, and
Yes.
people are looking into things. And I feel like if that movie were to come out now,
Yeah.
people might understand it more. Or, you know what I mean? He said a lot of people didn't understand it, but I feel like
Yeah.
the ego and things like that, people are working so hard on.
It was not a commercial success because Guy Ritchie tried to take the Kabbalah and the teachings of the Kabbalah and wrap them into a gangster movie. And
Yeah.
people were like, this is just a really crappy gangster film that doesn't make any sense, I watched it. The first time I watched it, I was going in thinking, okay, Jason Statham,
Yeah.
Vincent, like this is a gangster movie. But then it got like, there were some things that I'm like, this is not a gangster movie.
Right. No, I think I'm very excited to watch it. I'm going to take
we'll
this
keep
call.
talking about it because I love Revolver.
Yeah. All right. Hi, you're on A Night with a Medium.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. Who are we talking with and where are you calling from?
My name is Nina, and I'm calling from New York, Manhattan.
Awesome. Hi, Nina. Thank you so much for calling in and for watching. I have my friend Ken here with me, and we're doing readings. Do you have a question for us?
Yeah, I just basically wanted to know if I have a message from the other side.
Okay. Is there a person in specific you're
From
looking
anybody?
you're looking to connect with?
Well,
If you could just give a first name.
the recent death that I had in my family is my grandma.
Okay.
Okay. I see a guy. So I don't have a message from your grandmother, but did you lose a man that you were close with?
No.
It doesn't have to be recent. It could have been, like even when you were a kid.
My grandfathers who were very like kind of like my father figure.
Okay. So for those of you who are not watching the video, he pulled a card.
It's the Emperor.
Okay.
Which
So
is
that
an
symbolizes man.
old bearded guy, so that makes sense. But he's upside down. And I'll let you do your thing, and
Yep.
hopefully you can get in touch, with her grandmother. But your grandfather has a message for you, and sometimes they come through, and it'll be somebody that you only knew, briefly, or when you were a kid. Do you know much about him?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
He played a major role
Okay.
in my life.
Was he a really tough guy?
Grandpa was, yeah, he really was.
Okay.
He was, yeah, he was pretty tough on us and very strict.
Yeah. So what I'm seeing with that being upside down and with kind of what we were talking about, because I before you called in, I was reading the cards and it was talking about anger, and it was talking about calming that anger and trying to deal with that anger, and with the Emperor upside down, that's like the exact opposite. So that's basically an apology. That's saying, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And what he's saying is, you didn't deserve any of the harshness or any of the pain that he inflicted upon you, and he's sorry.
Okay.
Can I have your grandmother's first name?
Andrea, and I have the one that passed like a long time ago, Incarnation.
Oh,
Her
wow.
name is Incarnation, but the one that passed recent is Andrea.
Who would have had the lung issues or something that would have affected the lungs, because they're making it hard for me to breathe?
My mama, my grandma.
That's the recent one?
Incarnation.
Okay, because I keep getting this sense that it was hard for me to breathe, and she keeps saying that you guys are thinking that there could have been something done to save her. I don't know if she was placed in a hospital or a hospice, or if there was something like that happening, and I almost feel like, I don't know if it's coming from you, that you feel that there was, I don't want to say malpractice, but like something could have been done to help her. Because I feel like this wasn't exactly what she was sick with. Was this like caused by something else? Does that make sense to you? Do you understand?
Well, she had lung cancer, and she was a heavy smoker.
Okay.
So that kind of like made it worse and made her like pass
Do you understand that
after
she's
the-
like,
you know.
did she not want to give up smoking? She was like, I'm already sick. I'm just going to keep doing this.
Yes.
Because she said, I was so stubborn.
It was hard for her.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
She
really
said I
hard
was
for
so
her to
stubborn.
give up smoking.
She says, my baby, did she used to call you like baby girl? Because she keeps wanting me to say like my baby girl's just like me, meaning you. Like you're just
Yeah.
like her. And she's laughing kind of, she's smirking because she's like, you have that stubbornness to you, but you use it to your advantage. She says, you're a very strong woman and you've accomplished a lot in your life.
Yeah, I'm very stubborn.
What do you want to ask her?
A lot.
Well,
I heard immediately that she says you keep questioning yourself and the decisions that you've been making, especially in the last year. And I keep seeing a separation of some sort as well. And she says, please stop feeling so bad about that because you're taking control of your life and it's uncomfortable, but it's not wrong. You understand that?
That sounds like my dad's mom.
Okay.
That recently passed.
Okay.
it's okay.
Yeah, that
It's
sounds like
okay.
her.
You know, when that channel's open, and
they'll all just kind of jump in and want to talk to you.
Yeah,
it's
and
like they're waiting to talk to you. You know what I mean?
and you're
So-
praying a lot, and you're praying a lot, and you're praying a lot, and so you're calling to them, and then when finally, you know, you're able to open that door, they're all rushing to try and get to you. You don't smoke, right?
No, I don't.
Okay. Is it something that like being around just drives you crazy, makes you kind of disgusted?
Yeah, it really does.
I
It really
don't know
does.
who this
Drives
is
me
coming.
crazy.
Yeah.
Cigarettes.
I don't know
Yeah.
who this is coming
Yeah.
from, but somebody's showing me. I don't know if it's like an old wedding dress or do you have somebody's wedding dress or why do they keep showing me a wedding dress? Like, do you have somebody's
No,
dress?
I have my dress that I was in. I was in my aunt's wedding. The only wedding that I was in. I still have the dress and stuff.
Okay, because she keeps bringing this up as being like significant to you or to her, and so I don't know if she was there with you or this was like a good memory of hers because she's like, I want you to remember these good memories.
She
like,
was. She was also in the wedding as well.
And then you have a picture of you two there with
I was
the dress.
a flower girl.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a flower girl, so I had the same dress as the bride.
Oh,
have you been listening to like her favorite music lately? Like I want to say it's like almost like a dance, like it's a real like upbeat.
Yeah, she feels like a dancer. She feels like she would have just
Yeah,
been
this
the
is
life
the
of the party.
Spanish a lot. Because of them.
What's that?
I grew up on a lot of Spanish music because of them.
Okay.
So I'm constantly listening to it.
When you
To
play that,
reminisce, you know,
when you're turning that music on, you're bringing her to you. Do you know that?
Wow.
So she's coming in and she's with you and she's listening to it, and so that's one way that you can bond with her. Because one thing that we do is when we're connecting through memory, we're actually calling them to us. So that music is like a direct shot, and every time you're listening to that music, she's around and she'll give you signs. So you need to pay attention.
That is so true. Every time I play a song, I always say, "This is my papa. This is my mama's music." So
Yeah, they
that's
know,
accurate.
and they know.
They
so
do, yeah.
That's really accurate.
And also, do you have a daughter?
I have a son.
You have a son. Okay. I don't know because I keep hearing something about there's a girl. There's a girl. So I don't know if there's one coming for you, but your grandmother's kind of making it clear that there's going to be a girl, and she
girl?
also, yep, and she wants to acknowledge the child that's here now and saying that she's around him as well. And as Kenny said, you know, with turning on music and things like that, you're going to find that the kids channel and that they see and they feel when you do these things, when you're calling her like that with the music or whatever, like pay attention to what the kids say. Okay, because I feel like they're going to channel too, and this happens often. They'll channel without realizing that they're doing it, okay? So pay attention.
Okay.
All right?
Wow, this is amazing.
Oh, I'm so
Thank you
happy that
so
you called
much.
in. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
All
I'll
right.
be tuning in.
Awesome. Have a good night.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye. A lot of Manhattan and New York City
Yeah.
people today. I love
that
it.
definitely speaks to the temperance.
Yeah.
Like an addiction to smoking.
Yep.
And the grandfather card, the emperor upside down, like I was saying, I had a reading one time.
Yeah.
And my grandmother on my father's side came through, who I hadn't seen since I was a kid. And I
Yeah.
told the guy, I was like, you know, I really didn't have a relationship. And he's like, it doesn't matter. And I get, you know, it was years ago. And that's when I learned, like, it really doesn't matter.
No.
You know, because if they're on the other side and their blood or you were close with them, you know, when they see you, when the light turns on, you know.
Well, and I always say,
if they have a message.
We don't have control over, I mean, kind of. I can tune into people very quickly, but I mean, we don't necessarily always have control over who comes through.
Not at all.
Spirit comes to whoever we're talking with for a reason. Spirit gives you what you need rather than what you want most of the time. And so if somebody's coming through, whether you've had a long relationship with them, or maybe they've died a while ago, you know, they're obviously coming through for a reason to deliver you a message, you know. And
years ago, I was at Walmart, the Subway and the Walmart, and I was like, I'm just going to get a quick.
Subway and Walmart, I know
those. Yeah, it's freaking, I'm real ghetto, you know. But I was getting a quick bite to eat, and I felt like the tap, like, you need to go say something to somebody. And I look over, and there's this woman with her head in her hands. And I had just finished my food, and I went over and I sat down and I delivered her a message from her mother. And she was like, you know, and I was like, okay, bye. And I just left.
Isn't it amazing? I'm going to answer this call as we're talking about that.
Yeah.
Oops. Hi, you're on A Night with a Medium.
Hello.
Hi, who are we talking with?
How are you?
I'm doing well. Who are we talking with, and where are you calling from?
I'm Mike from New York.
Mike, hi. Thank you so much for calling in. I have my good friend Ken here, and we are doing readings. Do you have a question for us?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much just trying to see if a family member of mine is present. I mean, this person was real, like, near and dear to me.
Sure.
Do
you have just a first name? You have a first name?
His name is Miguel, but everybody called him Mickey.
Okay. I almost want to say, I don't know if this is who we were picking up on before. Did he pass quick or unexpected or in a tragic way of some sort?
He definitely did.
Okay. Because it was weird, because I don't know if you've been watching or listening in, but not long ago, Ken and I were sitting here and we were kind of tuning into somebody who was coming in, and I felt that they would have passed tragically, very quickly or unexpected. I also want to say that there's a level of this where he almost wants to take responsibility for either being in the wrong place at the wrong time or having something to do with this. Do you understand that?
Say it again, I'm sorry?
He wants to take some level of responsibility for this passing.
Okay.
So it almost feels like wrong place at the wrong time. You understand that part of it?
Definitely. Definitely was, yes.
Did you and Mickey, did you guys, like, break down in a car one night? Or you spent a lot of time in a car and something was...
He actually got hit by a car.
Hit by a car. Yeah, that's you know, I see, like, a car, and I see you and him, and I see, like, a lot of, like, emotion. And so I was thinking, like, was it a flat tire or something? But, you know, that makes a lot of sense.
He was a boxer, and he was training, so he was jogging.
He was running.
To the gym. Yes, he was jogging to the gym in the middle of the like in the street.
Yeah.
And it was very dark, not a well lit block area, and
Okay.
Well, a couple things, because I feel like on my left side, I feel like a lot of, like, numbness, and one thing is that he was not in pain. It was not something that...
No, I feel like it happened so quickly that he didn't know what happened, really. And I don't know if he died at the scene. There's a feeling from a lot of people that they didn't get an opportunity to say goodbye. So did he die right at the scene?
No, he didn't. He actually survived the incident.
Okay.
But they said he was expected to live. He was expected to live, and then he just died within... He went into a coma and died days later.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely am connecting with him.
There is something to do with the head trauma. Like, I almost want to say, like, there's like a brain bleed, or there was something that would have happened that they didn't even see. So it's almost like, you know, I understand the trauma of being hit, but it was almost like something they missed, or something that he didn't even expect,
and
whether it be a blood clot or like something that would have hit him quickly.
And that's what I've always felt. I've always felt like there was something that they didn't catch on to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to survive. He was talking. He was paralyzed from the neck down.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I feel. I feel the numbness.
Yeah, exactly. Numbness. I remember you saying that. He was paralyzed from the neck down. but they said he was expected to live, and then he died 3 days after Christmas.
But you got to see him, and you held his hand and you talked to him, and he felt that. So that's a miracle, because I could feel right now, like as I'm sitting here, my entire left side from my shoulder down to my arm to my hip is numb, but I could also feel just like a light touch. So you and him definitely, you and he definitely are still connected to this day. I mean, he's man, I got my hair standing up.
Yeah, he feels very much like a brother. Like, I almost feel like you guys were family, and he saw you as that, and he wants to remind you, how much he appreciated you.
Father.
Yeah, because he said that you guys, there was a lot of ups and downs, but you guys like grew through a lot of things together, and he doesn't want you to forget those things. And there's also something about keeping. Do you have like a T-shirt of his or something that you have? I don't know if it's.
I have plenty. I have boxing gloves.
Boxing gloves. Okay.
He's a boxer.
Okay. Yeah, because he says he has these things of mine that and you boxed as well.
Boxing gloves.
Or did he try to get you to box with him? Like, did you either box or?
I was very young when he died. I was 1.5 years, but I went into boxing myself. I gave it a try to see if that's something that I can actually follow through with. And unfortunately, I have asthma, so I really didn't have the stamina.
Okay.
So.
Okay, because he acknowledges this, and he just wants you to know that he knows about it.
Yeah, I have a lot of his stuff, like his trunks, his gloves, his robes.
Yeah.
I just pulled a card for you. So Spirit was telling me to pull a card, and what I pulled was the King of Pentacles, which, earlier we saw the Queen. The King of Pentacles is like, right now, you in your position, you're sitting with something that's worth a lot. I don't know if it's something that you created, like if it's music or like a design, or if you're an artist or something, but, you have something right now that is worth a lot of value that pretty soon you're going to be able to cash in.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things that I keep to myself, and I dibble and dabble in things, and there's ideas that I have and stuff like that that I'm getting ready to put out, that I want to put out, and that's actually on the right stuff right there.
I want to say too, because I feel very much like he's coming through and taking this opportunity to kind of motivate you, because he says you sometimes don't feel like you have enough motivation in your life, or somebody who's kind of that cheerleader for you to push you and go forward, because he said I would have been that person for him, and he's taking the opportunity, as Ken brought that up, like to push you forward and say, like, move forward.
He's using his energy. He's using his energy for you, and so that's creative energy. So these ideas and everything that you have, now is the time that you really need to put supreme effort into it.
Go for it.
He was definitely an artist. He was a singer. He was a multi-talented type of guy. Everybody loved him.
Yeah.
And he was on his way up in the boxing world, and he was definitely like a motivation type of dude. He'll push you in the right direction.
Yeah.
If you didn't have something, he'll give it to you. And yeah, you definitely like head on with that right there.
Well, you're being humble, because you actually have some of that talent too.
I just heard. I was gonna say, like, he's downplaying himself, because he's saying you have the same amount of talent as me, and he wants you to use it. He's almost
it's just young.
Yeah, he's saying please use it.
Definitely. I mean, I definitely don't voice my opinions much. I don't like put out things that I know I'm good at. I don't really put it out there like that. I mean, I keep it to myself.
And that's where he's coming in, saying you just need the motivation. You need a little bit of that push.
And you need to let go too. There's some things that you really need to let go of, man. There's some stuff that's really holding you back. And I could just hear it in your voice. That doesn't even have to, necessarily do with any kind of gift or talent or anything. Like, I could just hear in your voice that you've been through a lot, and that it's been really hard for you. And, one thing I could say is that calm waters don't make good sailors. So, you got your angel on your shoulder.
That's my middle name, and that was his middle name, Angel.
There you go.
Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate it. And I hope that we gave you a little bit of validation for you.
No, you definitely have. You guys are awesome. This is my first time tuning in.
Oh, wonderful.
And you definitely you definitely gained a follower.
Thank you so
You
much.
def-
I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you guys. Thank
All
you
right.
guys.
You have a wonderful night.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That spirit just took a hold of me.
Yeah.
I mean,
I saw you. Your arms went
electricity.
crazy.
Still,
yeah, I felt
still.
it as well. I felt
yeah,
it
I mean,
too.
we got a fan blowing on us, but it's been blowing on us. You know, like I
No, that's different.
Yeah.
Spirit validation is different.
I saw.
You know
I could see the car. I didn't like. I saw like an accident, like it was broke down, but you know, I didn't. I just saw people standing there. So, you know, it's hard for me without fully going into it like a shamanic state, you know, or like a tantric state that, you know, and obviously, you know, that gives you more detail. But
I want to. In a couple minutes, we're going to check our Facebook comments. I'm going to answer this phone call, and then I'd like to kind of go to Facebook and take a look at the comments. We haven't done that yet. So let's take this one. Hi, you're on A Night with a Medium. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, you're on A Night with a Medium.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. Who are we talking with, and where are you calling from?
Natasha, New York.
Natasha, thank you so much for calling in. I have my good friend Ken here. We're doing readings. Do you have a question for us? Are you still there?
I don't think so.
All right. That's okay.
Maybe she'll call back.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
You're getting a lot of attention in New York.
I know. But you know, the weird thing is even when I really, like, before my show at the casino, I gained, like, a lot of people in Long Island. I just started,
Well,
for
you
whatever.
kind of.
I know. I kind of.
You don't have the attitude, but
I don't have the attitude. Yes, I do. I have the whole attitude.
You're not as bad as you used to be.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, the
We all
kids,
grow
they
up.
calmed you down. Yeah.
Yeah, we all grow up. I think if you're Italian, you just have, especially a woman, you just have that little.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm Sicilian. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
50% Sicilian, and my mom's 100% Sicilian.
Oh yeah, you're
Sicilian
in trouble. Well,
women.
I know your mom. I met your mom.
Yes, and it's a matrilineal line. So it's like
Yeah.
if your mom is 100% Sicilian, you're raised
You're
Sicilian.
yeah, you are. You
and yeah, I just tend to stay away from Sicilian women.
I'll tell you what, though. I'm 50% Sicilian, too. My mom's side was Sicilian. My dad's side was from the northern part.
Yeah.
And I have family in Napoli.
You can keep that 50%
Napolitan.
over there. Thank you.
We're not that bad. We're fun, at least. All right. So I don't know if Peter.
I'm here.
All right. Wonderful. Do you want to give us some comments? I know
Yeah,
where did he go?
He's just a disembodied voice.
We shifted the studio around today, and we're working on the backdrop behind Tessa. But no, for everybody who's been piping in on Facebook, there's been a lot of great comments over here. There's one I'm going to read, and I'm also going to remind everyone that you will scan the comments later in order to interact.
Yeah,
Chris
I want
Moses
people to know that.
and Marguerite Smith, they all have sent messages, but they also have good questions. But this one came from Amy Marie.
Okay.
Here, reading it, a few weeks ago, someone asked if a miscarried soul can return as the same gender. As someone who had 2 miscarriages, I never considered that a miscarried soul could come back.
Yeah.
Since I have 2 miscarriages and 2 living sons, is it possible that they are the 2 same souls?
It is possible, and it is possible that it's not. And, you know, what I like to say about this is they can either come back as the same gender or they can come back as the opposite gender. A soul is a soul. So, you know, I personally believe in reincarnation. I believe that we come back, and every lifetime we're not necessarily the same gender. We might have different roles. I always say that we have a soul circle. We have people that we connect with every lifetime, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we stay the same consistently. So to answer your question, I would say yes, it's extremely possible that the miscarriages do come back, and they could very well be the same gender.
Yeah,
you know?
and you know, it just wasn't the right time.
It's not, yeah, and
for that soul.
I always remind people too, you know, as a woman, miscarriages, they're very tough to deal with. It's an emotional, physical, you know, hard thing to deal with. But it's always because it's not the right time. I always have people take a look at the timing of it. You know, what was going on in those moments? Or
even the world. You know, like the world just because when you're talking about a human soul, that's a major addition to our world, you
It
know.
is.
And the soul is energy. I mean, they've been weighed, you know, like at the
Yeah.
point of death, I think it's 21 grams that the body loses.
Yeah.
You know, so you're talking about energy which can't be created or destroyed.
No,
you
it's
know,
a soul.
it just gets recycled.
It does, yeah.
And it is possible. Of course, it's possible that they could be the same gender. You know, like you said, it's possible that they could be a different gender. Now, her question though was, can it be the kids that she has now?
Very
And
possible.
yes, that is possible, and it could be that they just skipped a little bit of time.
Yeah.
To be here just
if
a
they
little
want to
bit
come,
later.
they're coming. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like if it's their time to come, they're going to come. It might not have been that pregnancy.
Just
It
a
could have
different
been-
incarnation.
It is, yeah,
Yeah.
It is. If they're meant to be here, they are. So
Yeah.
that's a very interesting question.
And one last thing to send you from before I sign off. I'm sure we can stay on for about 5 more minutes. Take hopefully one more call. But
I'll take one more call. Yep.
Yeah, but this came from Mary De Palma, who takes the gold medal in the Olympics for persistence, who has been saying Tessa too all night.
I love her.
She's awesome, and
She's
I
my
can't.
grandmother's
I
best
know there's
friend.
a lot of good people looking with messages here, but Mary De Palma says I want a card pulled, so I'm going to leave that with you, Ken.
Yeah, no, definitely. So let me shuffle it up good.
Yeah, she was my grandmother's best friend, and she did.
Aw.
She called me Tessa too.
Okay.
That was my nickname.
So that card is the Knight of Wands, which we had that earlier too. It's kind of funny. I've
Yeah.
been shuffling the deck all night.
Yep.
The Knight of Wands signifies the horse is in a rearing up position, as I was saying. So it's getting ready to do something because the horse is going to land pretty quickly. The wands can be anything from somebody's word. Our word is our wand, to spiritual energy, prayer, anything like that. And the knight, all of it together would mean that there is a person, more than likely, her name's Mary.
Yep.
More than likely you, Mary, that you're getting ready to talk to somebody. And I don't know the situation, but it could be a very important discussion that you're getting ready to have. And so that just shows me that it's happening. But I'm going to pull another one to show you the outcome because I need more clarification.
I do want to say too, whoever just called in, just call back in a moment, and I'll be able to answer that for you.
So there's another wand, 2 of wands, and what this card is somebody who's holding one staff while looking into like a crystal ball, and there's another wand next to them. So what you're talking to somebody about is they've lost an opportunity and they're kind of feeling like downtrodden about it, and you're telling them, look into the future and whatnot, and it's gonna be a positive outcome. So if that's what you're wondering, if that's what you're currently going through, that maybe you're nervous to talk to this person or you don't want to discourage them, you don't have to worry about it. Just be honest, and it's gonna turn out good for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it doesn't always, I mean, I've pulled a lot of cards where it's like, oh, that's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other questions from the comments? Oh, I don't think Peter's over there anymore. That's okay.
No, he's right there.
Found him. Yeah, no, Mary's a good friend of ours.
Yeah, I hope
family, so
I hope I cleared that up for her. It's
yeah.
Feedback's always good, but
I
like
still
I said,
have to do a reading with you. I know I did a reading for her a couple weeks back. I don't know if it was when my mother was on with me or when it was, but I would love to sit with you and do an actual reading. I do want to say too, in a few minutes, Peter, if I sent the winner of the free reading with me. So in a few minutes, I don't know if we're going to get one more call or not, but I did pick a winner for the free reading for subscribing to my YouTube channel. And in a few minutes, we're going to announce that before we close the show. Actually, if we're able to, we might even be able to do it now before I get a call. I don't know.
Come on, you're psychic. You don't know if you're going to call or not?
We're definitely getting calls. I told you we had like 230. There's a call right now.
I'm just busting your balls. Vincent Pastore.
Look at that. Maybe
style.
it's Vinny.
Yeah, it could be.
All right, one second. Let's take this call real quick. Hi, you're on A Night with a Medium.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Who are we talking with? And
yourself?
Good, thank you. Who are we speaking with, and where are you calling from?
It's Natasha again, and I'm calling from New York.
Oh, Natasha again.
We lost her, yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
okay.
Do you have a question for us?
I just wanted to know if you guys had any messages for me.
Okay. Are you looking to connect with somebody specifically? Do you have a first name that we could use?
I'm not looking to connect with anyone specifically.
Sure.
I guess.
I want to say, first and foremost, you have a very strong male energy that's around you, and he feels very much like what would be a father figure. I feel like this has kind of been maybe a theme tonight. I don't know. The grandfathers, the fathers, like whoever it is, these strong male figures coming through tonight. And I feel that for you as well. I feel like he would have taken over kind of like a father figure for you. I do want to acknowledge he saluted to me, so that's my symbol for being in the military. And I also want to say that he passed from something quick. I don't know if it was like in the heart, like a stroke, a heart attack, like something that would have hit him quickly. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like he's very protective over you, especially more recently. So I don't know what it is that you're going through. I know, as we said, the state of the world's a little off right now. I feel like everybody's going through their own stuff. But for you, I feel like you've been separating yourself from things and trying to kind of almost rebuild. And so he's coming in very strongly just to say you're protected and he's around you, because he was a very strong father figure for you growing up, right? And he's very protective.
Yes, he was.
Okay. Can I have his first name?
Yeah.
It's just easier for me to, I like to know their names.
And I've got someone else.
His first name is Felipe.
Okay. So, did he used to cook a lot too? Like, I don't know if he was like we always say like grandma was a cook and ma was a cook, but there's something about him kind of jumping in and liking to cook and having family together. Like he was big on bringing everybody together in this way. You understand that?
Okay.
So he's talking, I don't know if what you're feeling is kind of detachment from family, but he's bringing this idea of, family coming in and family coming together. And he really wants you to focus on that going forward, because he says it's going to be very important to keep those people close to you. I know Ken has pulled a card. If you can see the card, if not, go ahead and tell us what that is.
No, I cannot.
Okay. I pulled the Empress. Did your mother or maybe a sister, but I feel like maybe your mother, pass away?
Yes.
Okay, so that's who I'm getting. So
I don't know what's in the throat with her. I don't know why I want to say like something to do with either communication or the throat was affected. How do you understand like stopping communication or not being able to communicate to you?
I'm not sure.
I feel and I pulled the Judgment card, which she trusted you with something that meant a lot to her, and I also was she like a religious person?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know if it was like a statue or I even want to like an infant, like the statue of the baby Jesus, or like an angel or something like that. Did she give you a statue when she was alive?
I have one of her statues here in my house, and it's an angel.
Okay, that's something that she really loved and cherished, and so it really has her energy in it, and you're entrusted with that. Don't let it break. Okay.
Okay.
What she's telling me is that I don't know if you're in the middle of a move or something right now, but there's like some clutter, and she's worried that that statue's not being like put on like a pedestal, like on a table or somewhere that it's being shown off. And
yeah, it's not.
Yeah, so she wants it put somewhere that it's on display and that people can see it and appreciate it, and also that it's safe, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So you're very well protected. You have, your grandfather as well as her. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And watch how your luck changes when you put that statue out.
Yeah.
Really. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
You as well. Bye-bye.
All right, so I want to jump to real quick before we close. I want to jump to the winner of the free reading. So what I did was I had put it up in a couple different places. I had posted it on Facebook. I posted it on my Instagram. And it was a contest for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I was going to randomly select. So what I did is I had my son go through and just point to a name. And the winner of the free reading is, I believe, Kristen. I'm going to bring up there's your Instagram. So this is, it was from Instagram. Her name is Kristen. So Kristen, if you're watching, I'll definitely see if I could find you on Instagram as well and send you a quick message. But you want a free 15-minute reading with me. So we'll get in contact and we'll set that up. All right. So before we close, I want to take a moment and just
decompress.
And also I want to thank, if Vinny, if you're watching, God, thank you so much for.
You said we were going to talk about Revolver. Look, I could talk about
Revolver
all day.
We could talk all night. I know. We'll talk. We're going to save it. We're going to save it for when Vinny comes back on. He definitely wants to come back on. I definitely want to have him.
We got to have sauce.
We're just going to hold the sauce.
Just some
Just
bread.
hold it here with us. And bread. And so I want to thank you, Vinny, for being on with us. It was an amazing afternoon. I loved having you. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Kenny, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, amazing. I hope everybody enjoyed, both of us here tonight and having Ken here in the studio. Again, I want to just plug this real quick. If you haven't grabbed it, Secret Teachings of the Hidden Masters, where can you find this?
It's on Amazon. You could follow me on Facebook. I'm sure you'll put my name and everything so they can find me. And,
We have a lot coming up, the both of us.
Yeah.
So keep.
Or if you're local, hit me up and I got copies of it.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for next week and have a good night.
Be well.
Thank you for joining us this evening. You can find Tessa on Facebook at her page Tessa DelZoppo Psychic Medium. Her website is www.tessadelzoppo.com. And by telephone, you can reach Tessa at 716-226-0693.